Bhagwan Sri Krishna. Firstly, let me acknowledge the Vidwan Mandali or Vipra Samaj or Kirtan Mandali, our host and all our guests. May Bhagwan Sri Krishna always protect you and keep you in His grace. May He shower His blessings upon you and always keep your mind focused upon His lotus feet. Tonight, we have the great opportunity of listening to a discourse from the Bhagavad Mahapurana. Within the next 3 days, I will attempt with the best of my ability to try to stimulate you to gain an interest in picking up this sacred and holy book of ours, which we know as the Srimad Bhagavad Purana. There is no way that I, in 2 nights and 1 day, can be able to expound to you this phenomenal knowledge that's in this book. So it will be my attempt for tonight to introduce you to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tomorrow night, I would like to take it to the next level, to gain your interest in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And on Sunday morning, hopefully, encourage you to go out and purchase a copy of the Srimad Bhagavatam and begin to study it. And I emphasize the word study, not read. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a wonderful book. As a matter of fact, it consists of 18,000 verses that was written by Sri Ved Vyasji. And before I read the first shloka in the Srimad Bhagavatam, I want to give you a little history about the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam, as I say, is 18,000 verses. How did this 18,000 verse come about? As we all know, the Srimad Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. So, to understand the Gita, for most of us, it requires very much in-depth daily study. And if you read the Gita, it is very repetitious. There's a reason for that. In our culture, in Sanatan Dharma, for us to understand something, we believe in the process of what's called disciplic succession of knowledge. It must be handed down by a spiritual guide, a teacher or a guru. And from that guru, we learn and then we continue to pass this knowledge down by repetition. As such, in the Gita, in every chapter, there are things in there that is repeated consistently. Why? They say, the old saying goes, practice makes perfect. And if you repeat something over and over, eventually you will become a habit, and you'll learn it, and it'll become part of your nature. So we knew this little secret many, many thousands of years ago. So it's hopefully no new secret to you tonight. The Bhagavad Gita will help us to understand the knowledge. However, the knowledge is so deep that many of us sometimes gets a little fluttered or confused because we haven't really studied it properly. So, when Vyasji Maharaj wrote the Mahabharata, which is 36,000 verses, from those 36,000 verses, he extracted 700 verses, and that is known as the Bhagavad Gita. After having done all this wonderful work, he was worried in his older age. He started to wonder what's going on. And why isn't so many people focused on this very, very sacred knowledge in the Gita? And it disturbed him quite a bit. So he went into meditation. And when he went into meditation, Narad Muni, who was his guru, appeared. And Narad Muni does not reside in one place at once. He constantly travels. And we will talk a little bit about Narad Muni tonight in our katha. But Narad Muni appeared and he saw that his disciple was in distress, and he asked, Vyasji, what is it that's bothering you? And Vyasji said, oh Narad Muni, you know, I've written all these wonderful books. I've written the 4 Vedas. I have written the Mahabharatam. I have written the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But still, I feel like there's something missing. And what is it? And Narad Muni looked at Vyasji and says, go and write the pastimes, the Leela of Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan. Let people know the greatness of Bhagwan. And with that, Vyasji in his mature age went and he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now the Srimad Bhagavatam is written in 12 cantos. And for you to understand the Srimad Bhagavatam, you must understand the significance of studying the Srimad Bhagavatam and the procedure for doing something. Many of us today, when we go, we grab a book and we start reading. Sometime, I know when I get a book, the first thing I want to do is I want to read the back cover of it to see what it's about before I even start reading the book, see if it will interest me or not. And then the introduction, and then I'll skim around to a few chapters, you know. But you can't do that with the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. Why? You see, in our culture, Sanatan Dharma, the Srimad Bhagavatam was designed and written in a specific way to help you to go from a very low level of thinking consistently and constantly, incrementally bringing you to a level of self-realization. As a matter of fact, the first 9 cantos prepares you and gets you ready to a level where, in the 10th canto, it helps you to become a self-realized soul. But it must be studied in that manner and in that format. So if I was to jump into this katha tonight and start jumping around from verses to chapter, I'll be doing you a disservice. Therefore, I'm going to give you an introduction to the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the essence of the Srimad Bhagavad Puran and the value and the greatness of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, as mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran. But before I do that, let us all meditate on the first and second and third shloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let us meditate and bow our heads. Om Hari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Janmadye Asya Yato Nyatyat Itaratascharateshvabhijnanaswarat Tene Brahma Hiryayadi Kavaye Muhyati Yat Suraya Tejo Vadi Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatrate Sargo Misra Dhamana Svena Sada Nirata Kulhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. Om Namo Bhagavate Va